Welcome, Wildcat fans. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I'm here in Central City broadcasting live tonight. And we've got our second home volleyball game, first one that we're announcing this year. We've got the East Buchanan Buccaneers here tonight. And as I mentioned, there was a home game earlier in the year, but we had a football game that night as well. And so we went to the football game. So this is the second home game, but it's the first one we're announcing. And Wildcats are coming into tonight's match. They're 0-1 in the conference, 1-6 overall. And East Buck is 0-3 in the conference, and they're 1-12 overall. So one of these teams is going to get a boost tonight as far as to add to their win total. And get their first win in the conference, I guess, second win overall. Kind of some of the stat leaders. For Central City, the setter who gets an assist every time there's a kill is Riley Armstrong, who does the setting for the Wildcats. Kate Dolan does the setting for East Buck, so she's leading them in assists. Freshman Brooke Silver is leading the Wildcats in kills. And senior Elsie Flexenhauer is leading the Bucks in kills. Total blocks is Savannah Cook, a senior for the Wildcats. Elsie Flexenhauer for the East Buck Buccaneers is leading them. As far as passing or the digs on kills, Avery Wise, senior, is leading the Wildcats. And Ava Shannon is leading the Bucks in that category. And then service aces, so who has the most aces on the team is Brooke Silver, the freshman. She leads the Wildcats, and Cameron Stone, a sophomore, is leading the Bucks in ace serves. So that's kind of just some of the stat leaders here for each team. We're getting ready here for the introductions. Wildcats, gosh, to be honest, I don't know that I got to a volleyball game last year, so I don't know if they've got new uniforms or not, but they're new to me this year. They're black tops with red stripe down the sleeves and red numbers, and then red shorts. They look pretty sharp. And then East Buck is in their blue and red tops, that baby blue, North Carolina blue. And then they've got blue numbers and black shorts. So Ava Shannon is going to be a starter. Adri Dudley is another starter for East Buchanan. Piper Reck. Elise Flexenhauer. And it looks like Katie Dolan. Emma Walton is going to be the libero for the Wildcats. Emma's a freshman. Brooke Silver, another freshman starting. Savannah Cook, senior. Riley Armstrong, senior starter. Alexia Hornia and Braylon Abernathy. And I believe also Avery Weiss should have been introduced as a starter there. All right, so the lineups will change sometimes for Just had Josh Morey, Central City music director, sing the national anthem. Great job to Josh. As a nice rendition. All right, so we're ready to get started here. So out on the court here to get things started, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have Savannah Cook, Braylon Abernathy, Avery Wise, let's see, Brooke Silver, Riley Armstrong, and Alexia Hornia. That's who's going to start here for the Wildcats. And as I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of people going in and out with substitutions and stuff, and I'll try to keep you updated on that. It looks like East Buck has won the toss to serve first. So number 2, Ava Shannon, is going to get things started here for East Buck. And there goes to up to Armstrong, and we've got Braylon Abernathy with the kill. East Buck plays it back, but it's blocked by the Wildcats. East Buck's coming with another attack out of the middle, and Savannah Cook was there, but she couldn't get it, and the ball drops on the Wildcat side. So 1 point for East Buck. Brooke Silver up to Armstrong with Savannah Cook with the hit out of the middle, and it goes out wide. Nice little attack there. Savannah just didn't get on top of the ball. Shannon with the serve. It goes to Avery Wise. Again, Braylon Abernathy with the attack. Played back over. Oh, there's a misplay by East Buck. They were just going to hit it back over. And it went off of the player into the net, so Wildcats get it. So it's 1-2, and there's Avery Weiss with a nice serve, and it comes back. The Wildcats return it, and it comes right back to the Wildcats, and they're not able to hand it. Alexia just came up a little too close and wasn't able to handle that kill. So the ball's going to go back over to the East Buck. And it looks like there's the serve. It goes to Avery Weiss, and that's going to be a bad pass. And that's going to be a point for the Bucks, so it's 4-1. And the girl that's, maybe that's Katie Dolan, I believe, is serving there for the Bucks. Wildcats return the serve. Bucks come with their own attack, played up by Abernathy. It's going to be hit back over by Avery Wise. And the Bucks are going to come back, and that's going to be out. Cameron Stone hitting error, and that goes a little deep, so that's going to go back over to the Wildcats. So it's 2-4. East Bucks up, and we got Braylon Abernathy with the serve. They tip it over to the Wildcats, and they're going to go to back row attack by Alexia, and she hits it over. It's going to be played back, and there's a mishit by Stone again, and that's going to be another point for the Wildcats. So it's 3-4 here. Wildcats down by 1, and we got Braylon serving for the Wildcats. There's a nice hard serve, but unfortunately it's a little deep, so that's going to give the ball back over to the Bucks, and Stone is going to serve. It's played up by Alexia. She gets it to Riley, and there's an attack by Brooke Silver, and the Bucks come out of the middle with a big hit. That's probably, it looks like Elise Flexenhauer, their big hitter. So that makes it 6-3. And here comes the serve, a little floater played up by Alexia. It goes to Armstrong. She back sets it. Passed over, bumped over. Wildcats get it back, and then another bad pass, and there's no setter up there. And new coach Mark Lau is going to call a timeout. And so the Wildcats are just not covering the court quite the way probably Coach Lau wants, so they'll talk about it. I'm going to give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Hey, Wildcat fans, open a savings or CD account that meet your needs. Visit a Heartland Bank branch location today or go online to the hbtbank.com. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. And we appreciate Heartland Bank's sponsorship of the Wildcat Sports Channel, and we're looking to get some other sponsors this year. Heartland has been the sole sponsor in the past, but they're stepping back a little bit, and we're looking for some others, so be listening, and we'll probably be having some new information about our sponsors. But again, we appreciate everything Heartland Bank has done for us. So come out of the timeout here, 3-7, Wildcats are down. Stone with the serve, gets it to Alexia. There's Armstrong. He's going to go ahead and bump that over. And Beast Buck's going to come back with a hit out of the middle. And I think that's going to be, again, Elise Flexenauer with that big hit. And that's going to be another kill for her. She leads the Bucks in kills. And it's 3-8. And there's another serve by Stone, and it's out. All right, so that's going to be a point for the Wildcats. And Savannah Cook is going to rotate back and do serving. And that serve is going to go out. A little wide. All right, so it's 9-4 after that serve that goes out. Piper Reck is serving for the Bucks, and it's going to be played up by Alexia, and it's going to be hit by Brooke, and there's going to be a kill by Brooke Silver. Brooke's going to go back to serve now. So let's see if the Wildcats can't put something together. 5-9. We're in game one of this Tri-Rivers, and Brooke floats that baby over, and it's going to lead to a Wildcat point. Brooke did a floater, barely got it over the net, and just stayed tight to the net. The Bucks couldn't do anything with it. So Brooke's going to come back now with a little harder hit, and they're going to go outside, and it's tipped over, played up by Abernathy, and it's played up to Fleschenauer, and she puts it down. So it's going to be a side out and a point for the Bucks. It's 6-10. East Bucks leading. And that looks like, I'm not going to lie, their numbers are hard to read. It looks like Adri Dudley is going back to serve, and Hornia plays that. And it's bumped up by Armstrong and hit over by Emma. And it's an attack out of the corner by Evelyn Thurn, and it's out, so a hitting error by East Buck. Point for the Wildcats. And Riley Armstrong is going to go back to serve. And Riley does a little floater, and they get it up, and it's going to be an attack, and it's a tip by Flexenauer, and she hits it off her fingers, and it doesn't go over, so it's 8-10. Wildcats down 8-10. See if Riley Armstrong can get something going here with the serves. There's a floater, and played up by the Bucks, and it goes out. So there's another point. Wildcats are making a comeback here, 9-10. See if Riley can keep this going. Riley's a senior this year. And she does another little floater. It's popped up, and it's going to be just tipped over into deep back corner, and Wildcats fell asleep a little bit. And it hit just in that back corner, so it's going to be a side out. And the Bucks will get it, and that will put them up 9-11. And Flexenhauer with the jump serve, played up by Wise, and a back row hit. An attack was by Brooke Silver, and it was a nice hit, nice hard hit, but just didn't swing down on the ball, so it went a little deep. So there's going to be a hitting error, and that's going to be 12-9 now for East Buck. And Flexenhauer with the serve goes off of Brooks' arms, and it's going to be free balled over, and it's free balled out. And so there's another point for the Wildcats. So now is 9-13. And there's another serve, and it goes through Avery Wise's hands, but the Wildcats stay on it. And this time, unfortunately, it's a high hit, and Emma Walton touches it, and it goes out. So it's 14-9. And here comes the serve by Flexenhauer, and it is out. So Wildcats catch a break there, and now it's going to be 10-14, and we've got Alexia Hornia serving. Alexia is a senior, and she serves it over, and it's going to be hit out of the middle. And Savannah Cook was there to block it, but it just hit off of her arms and drops down. The Wildcats couldn't make a play on that, so unfortunate break there for the Wildcats. 10-15, and Ava Shannon is going back to Ava Shannon's going back to serve for the Bucks, and it hits just the top of the net. Nice try by Avery Wise to pop that up. It hits the net. Those are the hardest ones to return, and she just wasn't able to get it up quite high enough. There's a serve by Ava Shannon. It goes deep, so again, Wildcats get the ball back here. 11-16 is the score, and we've got Avery Wise serving. And Avery serves it into the net. So I'll just say this once. If you ever never heard me, I just feel like you got to get the serves in. You're just giving it to the other team, but we'll see here what happens. All right, so Katie Dolan goes back and does the serving, and again, the ball hits the top of the net and just dribbles over, and those, again, are the hardest ones to be able to do anything with. And unfortunately, Wildcats lose that point, so it's 18-11. And they go at Alexia. She pops it up, and there's Brooke Silver. Nice kill. Nice hit by Brooke Silver out of that strong side. Good job by the freshman. And Braylon Abernathy, another freshman's going back to do some serving. Let's see if the Wildcats can't put some serves together here. 12-18, we're in game one. And there's a nice serve by Braylon. Popped up by East Buck, and they're just not able to return it, so there's a point. Let's see if we can't get things going here. Makes it 13-18. We played at 25. See if Braylon can keep it going. There's a nice serve by, now it's a payback there to the Bucks. That serve hit the top of the net and trickled over there, and the Bucks weren't able to return that. So finally the Wildcats take advantage of that. So East Buck's going to call timeout. We're in game one, and it's 14-18. Wildcats got a little run going here. Again, we're in game 1, playing to 25. Again, count on Heartland Bank for local decisions and personal service. Join today. Visit hbtbank.com. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. All right, so coming out of the timeout here, Wildcats have Braylon back there serving. And she's got a nice little jump serve, and they're able to get it up to the setter. It's kind of tight. Hey, nice play. I think that was Brooks Silver was right there. They got it to pass up, and they kind of went to tip it over, and Brooke was right there to block that and put it back down on the East Buck side. So that makes it 15-18. Braylon Abernathy, and serves it into the net. So they're going to give it back to the Bucks. That's 15. I think it's 19 to 14. I think the score is off of the board up there. So Stone is going to go back. Wise hits the ball, and that's going to be another point there for East Buck. It gives them 20. And Stone's going to serve it again. She's going to pick on Avery again. Avery gets it up this time. Just tipped over by Abernathy, and then tipped back over by the Bucks, and it's going to go out. And they're having difficulty getting the score up there for some reason, but it should be, I think, 20 to 15 maybe. But I'm not 100% for sure because I'm not keeping track of the score. And the serve, and Elise Flexenhauer with the kill out of the strong side makes it 21. And again, I think the Wildcats have 15. They have 1 up there, but I'm pretty sure it's 15 to 21. So Wildcats need to get a break here. There it is. That was Piper Rex serving it into the net. So let's see if the Wildcats can't get it the point. They're just incrementally putting it up. I think it's 16 to 21 now. And now they don't have a score at all. So there's the serve. East Buck plays it over. Wildcats are there, and they're gonna Emma Walton's gonna hit it out of the back row. And then it's gonna be hit back over by East Buck. There's Armstrong's gonna set it outside to Riley. To Avery Wise, but it was blocked by the Bucks, and now there's going to be a substitution here. And so I think the score, they've got it as 17. I think it's 22 maybe, 22 to 17. So let's see if the Wildcats, they need to break this serve here, and they need to put a string together to give them a chance. Uh, 17 to 22, they got the score set right. And there's Silver up to Abernathy, and Armstrong just tips it over. And they're going to go ahead and just, it's a free ball back over, and Armstrong tips it over, then tipped back over by the Bucks. And we're going to go have a kill by Avery Weiss, and that is going to be a kill. I should have said a hit attempt, but it is a kill. Bucks weren't able to handle that hit from Avery. So Wildcats get that point. They needed it, 18 to 22, and now they need to put a little run together here. Okay, 18 to 22, play to 25, so you need to really get some points right here if we can. So let's see if Riley Armstrong can put something together. She gets it up there, pass. They're going to have a tip. It's going to go to Riley, and it's going to be tipped over by Braylon. And it's going to be, there's a block by Braylon, but it hit the net, the antenna, and so that's going to be considered out. She was right there, and that's going to give the point to the Bucks, 23-18. Wildcats aren't out of it yet here if we can get a side out right now. This is Flexenhauer who's serving, so their hitter, best hitter, is in the back row. And she goes up to Brooke, and Brooke gets a tight pass up to Riley Armstrong, and Riley just wasn't able to handle it, and it's going to be a point East Buck, so it makes it 24-18. And Flexenhauer's going with the serve. She's going to go at Brooke Silver. Armstrong gets it up, and it's just hit over, bumped over by Avery Wise. And East Buck's going to come back. Nice job by Emma Walton to keep that free ball alive. And now we're going to come back with a hit, and the Wildcats are still alive. There's a hitting error by Katie Dolan, and it's 19-24. So the Wildcats still have a chance here. Alexia is going to go back to serve, and Savannah Cook's checking in here. Emma Walton's going out, and there's the serve, and it's just going to be Stone. Hits it over, played up by the Wildcats, and Savannah Cook's going to hit the ball over. Back set there by the Bucks, and that's going to be a hitting error on Sammy Isham, and so that makes it 20-24, so Wildcats still have a chance here. Alexia there's a nice serve. Bucks play it up. They're going to have a hit. Blocked by the Wildcats. Kept alive by the Wildcats. They tip it over, and it's going to come back with another tip from East Buck. Wildcats have another chance here as an attack. Riley Armstrong played up by the Bucks. They're going to go, and Stone's going to hit it out of the middle. Brooke Silver's there. We're going to go outside to Avery Wise, and Avery Wise mishits the ball, and that's going to be the end of game one. We had a pretty good rally going there. Wildcats had their opportunities, but just some serving and just some mishits there. So we'll see here if we can come back with game two. All right, so in between every game, there is a 3-minute, I'm pretty sure it's a 3-minute break in between the games. And so the Wildcats, as I mentioned, coming into tonight 0-1 and 1-6, and looking for that first, both teams looking for that first conference win, and East Buck takes game one. Some of the things that have been going on, obviously we have been announcing football games, so if you would like, you can go back actually onto our YouTube channel, and you can go back and listen to all the games that we've announced this year and all of last year and the year before that and the year before that. I'm pretty sure they're all archived, and you can go back and listen. So far, the football team, they are 1-3. Cody and I will be heading up to Edco this week, Friday night. Wildcats will be going up and taking on the Edco Vikings. It's going to be a tough game. I think Cody said that Edco might be undefeated. I'm not sure if they're ranked, but he thinks they're undefeated. So heading up that way. And then the following week is homecoming. And so we'll be home with that homecoming football game. I believe the Wildcats play Cal Wheat for that. I was going to see the next home game for the volleyball team will be next Tuesday. I'll try to be up here to announce that. So they have another, during homecoming week, it seems like they usually get a home football game, obviously, and a home volleyball game. So that's the way that works out. All right. So a new thing that happened during COVID is before, in the olden days, volleyball used to switch sides. But then during COVID, they quit switching sides, and they've just continued to do that. So the Wildcats are to my left, and East Buck is to my right. And Wildcats, though, will get to serve. To start this second game. And there's a hit by East Buck, played by the Wildcats. They're coming back with a Braylon Abernathy tip. And then Stone is going to hit it out of the middle, and it's going to be a hitting error. So Wildcats take the lead here, 1-0. Avery Wise serving for the Wildcats. And this one's going to be, again, hit out of the middle by Stone. She tips it, blocked by the Wildcats. And again, the Wildcats, Stone hits it over, and Wildcats tip it back. And now there's a play by the Bucks, and then played back over by the Wildcats with Abernathy with the hit. And now Wildcats are going to set up another attack with Savannah Cook out of the middle, and there's going to be another point. Good job, Wildcats. A little more scrappy, getting to the ball a little quicker this time. So it makes it 2-0. Avery Wise is going to serve again here. Hopefully Wildcats can build up a little bit of a lead. Again, we're in game 2 here, just getting underway. And there's Avery Wise with a nice serve. And they're going to come outside here to Rec. She hits it over, played up by Alexia. And then there's Brooke Silver with the big arm swing, but unfortunately it goes out, going down the line. Just got behind it a little bit. And so that's going to be a side out for the East Buck. So it's 2-1. Central City's up. And there's the pass by Abernathy. Armstrong's there, and it's going to be hit out of the back row by Alexia. She kept alive by the Bucks, tipped over. Wildcats are going to come back with Cook out of the middle. And Savannah looked, if she wouldn't have looked at the officials, I don't think the officials were going to call her being in the net, but she looked at him like, I think I was in the net. And then they called her being in the net. So that's going to be a side out. So it's 2-2. Alexia gets it up, and it's going to be a hit by Cook. Out of the middle. She's deep. Everybody's getting a little behind the ball instead of on top of the ball. So we'll see if the Wildcats can make that adjustment. Katie Dolan with the serve here. And it goes to Hornia. And then goes back out to Brooke Silver with the big arm swing. This time Brooke up on top of the ball and put it down. Nice job, Brooke. Here's another kill for her. So that makes it 3-3. We're in game 2. East Buck took game 1, 25-20. And there's going to be an ace serve for Braylon Abernathy. Good job on Braylon's part there. So it makes it 4-3 Wildcats. Braylon again is a freshman. And she hits Savannah Cook in the back of the head. So there's a serving error. And that's going to go ahead and be a point for the Bucks. Wildcats here have an opportunity. They have Riley Armstrong with the hit. Played up by the Bucks. They're going to go outside. Kept alive by Braylon. Avery Weiss hits it over, free ball. And it's going to be a hit out of the middle. And, Braylon Abernathy was there, but it hit the ceiling and came flying back down. So nice try by Braylon. It's 5-4, East Bucks up. Cameron Stone is doing the serving here. And Cameron gets it to Alexia, who plays it up. And it's going to be free balled over by Braylon. And then the Bucks are going to come up with, and they try to do a combination hit, and it was a bad set. And it's going to be a side out to the Wildcats, so it's 5-5. And it looks like Savannah Cook is going to go back and do serving for the Wildcats. Savannah is a senior this year. And there's a nice serve, and it's going to be a point Wildcats. So hitting error by East Buck. I'm not sure if the ball was going to go over the net, but Riley Armstrong was right there to make sure it didn't come over. And so that's going to be a point. Wildcats go up 6-5. And Savannah Cook with another serve. And it's kind of a bad pass, and I don't know if that's got to be out. That was behind the antenna. Yes. No. It can't be their point. It was behind the antenna. Yes. Go over and tell him, Timko. No. Right, so it should be Wildcats' ball. The ball was played over and it went behind the antenna. It was played behind the antenna. And so Mr. Timko is going to come down here and tell them, but they're trying to say that it's East Bucks point. Yes, so okay, they talked to the officials and they got it figured out, and it is a point Wildcats, yeah. And I don't see the East Buck coaches complaining, and I think they knew that they were hoping that they were going to get a break there. I'm not sure why the officials even thought that it was East Buck's ball, but anyway, after all that, Savannah Cook's going to keep serving. 7-5 Wildcats. There's going to be a hit, and this time it is going to be the Bucks point. It hit the net, but it hit off of Braylon's arms and goes out of bounds. So it's going to be a point, makes it 7-6. Wildcats are up. And Piper Rex serving for the Bucks, and that's going to be a set, and that's going to be a kill by Brooke Silver. Brooke Silver gets the kill on that weak side. So nice job back, nice back set. And there's the kill. Wildcats will get the point, 8-6. And there's the serve by Brooke, and it's going to be a pass up to the middle by East Buck. And there's a good job by Braylon keeping the ball alive, and Avery Wise with a hitting error into the net. All right, so that's going to be a point for East Buck. 8-7, Wildcats up. There's Brooke Silver. There's Braylon and Riley Armstrong with the hit. Played up again by the Bucks, but there's a passing error. Evelyn Thurn, and that's going to be a point Wildcats. So it's 9-7. We got Riley Armstrong going back to serve here for the Wildcats. And there's a little floater, and there's going to be an ace serve for Riley. Nice job, little floater. They're trying to take advantage of that hole in the middle. Pull up the Bucks, and then you can go a little deep. So we'll see what the Wildcats, how they adjust to this. So it's 10-7. Riley Armstrong again. Now she's going to come back with a little floater. They're picking on Thurn, and Thurn has another passing error. And the Bucks are going to call timeout. 11-7 Wildcats here in game 2. East Buck took game 1, 20-25. Unleash the power of more with more for your checking from Heartland Bank. You'll get 24-hour roadside assistance, cell phone insurance, access to thousands of coupons, deals, and more for free. Heartland State Bank, FDIC. All right, so again, thank you to Heartland Bank. So Wildcats here got something going in game 2, 11-7. Wildcat, again, we're varsity. You play your games to 25, and you have to win the best 3 out of 5. So right now, Wildcats are down after losing game 1, 20-25, but we've got some things going here. Wildcats are looking a lot better, moving a little better. Hopefully they're talking a little better. And there's a good serve. And there's the hit by Flexenauer, their leading hitter. And it's going to be a point. And that's going to be a side out then. And nice thing is Flexenauer is going to go to the back row. Or I'm sorry, she's going to go to the back row and serve. So it's 11-8. And Wildcats need to get a side out. They can't let the Bucks get any kind of momentum here. I feel like the momentum's on the Wildcat side. And there's Brooke, gets it up to the front. We have Braylon with the big arm swing. Gets it over, but it's going to be played up by the Bucks, and it's tipped over at the last minute. Let's see if the Wildcats can't use this. And there's something out of the middle, but I feel like it was touched. But, okay, they're going to say it was touched. It is hard to see that sometimes. It was touched. And so that's going to be a side out for the Wildcats. That's a big play for the Wildcats. So I think that makes it 12-9. And Alexia Hornia is going to go back. And she's nice serve. And it's going to be a free ball over here. So if the Wildcats can use that, Alexia gets it up to the front. And we're going to go with Cook in the middle, Savannah. And it's going to be played back by the Bucks. And, it's a couple times now. Wildcats are getting their hands on the block, but they're just not able to block it. And then it's like misdirecting the ball, and then it's going where nobody is. So you can't fault the effort. It's just they were there, just weren't able to finish on the block. So ball's going to go back over to East Buck. We've got Ava Shannon getting ready to serve here for the Bucks. And that's going to be a bad pass by Avery Wise. And it goes out, so that's going to be a point. So that makes it 12-10, Wildcats up. And Shannon's going to serve again for the Bucks. And Avery Wise pops it up. Alexia's there. It's just going to be a free ball over by Braylon. And that would look like a bad hit to me, but they're not going to call it. And Wildcats play it up. Avery Wise goes to Cook in the middle, kept alive, and it's going to go outside. Oh, in the middle. Oh, and just some miscommunication by the Wildcats, who have Riley Armstrong and Alexia looking at each other, and they let the ball drop. And that was a good rally there. Would have been nice if the Wildcats could have got that point. So it's 11-12. And there's the pass to Brooke. And they're going to go outside to Braylon. Braylon's going to tip it. And right idea to tip it over the block, but she tipped it and it went out. So that's going to be a point for the Bucks. And we're all tied up at 12-12. Ava Shannon still serving. And there's going to be a pass, and they're going to go outside again to Braylon, and Braylon's going to have another hitting error. So that's 2 hitting errors in a row. So now let's see if the Wildcats can come back and maybe try somebody else, take a little pressure off of Braylon. Here's the pass by Alexa. She's going to go into the back row this time with Brooke Silver, and there's a nice hit from Brooke Silver. Back row attack goes down the line and is in. So good job by the Wildcats to keep their composure and not lose sight of what's going on. So we've got 13-13, and Avery Wise hit it out. So hitting error again for the Wildcats makes it 14-13. East Bucks up. And the Wildcats would be nice if we could get it back here. And there's Avery to Riley, and there's a big hit but played up by the Bucks. They're going to come back with a hit themselves. Alexia gets it up, and it's going to be a hit by Braylon, and She just tried to cut it too much. Her shoulders are facing the out of bounds across court, and that's exactly where it went. She's got to get her shoulders turned a little bit, give herself a chance. So it's 13-15. Katie Dolan with the serve. Tight play at the net, and Avery Weiss, or Brooke Silver, I guess, just tries to hit it with her left hand. All right, so it's 16-13 here. Wildcats down now. They're going to take a timeout. Again, game one went to East Buck, 25-20, and Wildcats were up here, but we've got a serve rotation that just didn't go our way there a little bit. And now we're down 16-13. Some of it a little bit is communication. Some of it's just making sure you're in a good spot and a good knowing if you can hit it hard or if you should just tip it over, being able to make that decision. All right, so coming out of that timeout, Kate Dolan's going to continue doing the serving here for the Bucks, 16-13. And there's Braylon with bad pass by Braylon, but then another bad play by the East Buck. And so Wildcats will get it. And that makes it 14-16. Braylon with the jump serve. Nice serve, and that's going to, nice hustle by East Buck, and they're going to play that over, and that was a good serve. And there's nobody talking on the Wildcats. Two people, and Coach Lau's going to call another timeout. They got to communicate, and you got to listen. So it's 14-17 here. Heartland Bank and Trust is located on North 4th Street in Central City. Unlock the power of more with more for your checking from Heartland Bank and save money on things you're already paying for. Open your account today in branch or online at hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. All right, Wildcats just need to talk to each other a little bit and kind of know the situation. So we'll see what happens here. So it's 14-17. We're in game two. Game one went to East Buck 25-20. Right now, as I mentioned, East Buck's up 17-14. Stone over there. Cameron Stone for East Buck is going to be doing the serving. And she serves it to Avery Wise. Kept alive, and now it's going to be pushed over by Avery Wise, but it's too deep. So, and actually, I shouldn't pick on Avery. That was Brooke Silver, who tipped that over, but tipped it too deep, and so that's going to be out and a point for East Buck. So it's 14-18, and there's Brooke Silver, gets it up to Abernathy. They're going to go in the middle to Cook, and it's blocked and kept alive by East Buck. They're coming back over with it. There's Alexia. She gets it up to Abernathy. There's a big hit from Brooke Silver, and it goes off the arms of Cameron Stone and out. So that's a big play for the Wildcats. 15-18, and Savannah Cook is going to go back to serve for the Wildcats and see if Savannah can't put together a string of serves to get the Wildcats right back in this game. And unfortunately, Savannah hits it out and gives the ball right back over to East Buck. And Piper Reck is going to go back and serve for East Buck. We're at 15-19. Wildcats need to get this side out, need to put together a little run. And let's see if it can happen, because Piper Reck just paid us back here and had a bad serve. So that's back-to-back bad serve. So it's 16-19. Wildcats. We have Brooke Silver, who's leading the team in aces. Let's see what she can do. And there's going to be an ace right there. Speaking of Brooke and aces, that's 17-19. And there's going to be another serve by Brooke, and there's another ace. That goes off of Flexenhauer's arms. So right now, Wildcats are clawing their way back into it. 18-19 is the score. And there's a bad pass, but they're going to be able to tip it over. Let's see if the Wildcats can't get an attack, and they do. Nice job by the Wildcats, and it's going to be tipped back over. And Dolan, the setter, was trying to take advantage of the Wildcats being sucked in, and she hit it out. So Wildcats tied it up. This is what they needed. You needed a little spark. Brooke with the serve, and it's going to be another free ball. Let's see if the Wildcats can't take it over. Again, we're talking, but we're not listening. And bad pass, but the Wildcats here are going to get another chance. Avery Wise, nice job by Avery, just does a little bit of a down ball. Didn't overhit it, and got the point. So 2019, Wildcats rallying here. And again, Wildcats, I see a couple people talking out there, but nobody's listening, and so we're having a couple people run into each other, and there's going to be another ace by Brooke. And it's going to be a timeout, East Buck. So Wildcats up 21-19, have a little bit of momentum. And we'll see if they can't finish this game out. Heartland Bank's a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat Sports. Come visit us today at 59 North 4th Street in Central City or online at hbtbank.com and ask about ways to save, including CDs and savings accounts. And again, thank you to Heartland Bank. All right, so we're coming out of this timeout. We're in game 2. East Buck took game 1, 25-20. Wildcats are in game 2 here, and there's going to be another ace for Brooke. And again, kind of a looked like Rec and Thurn had some miscommunications there, and the ball dropped in between them. So we've seen that on our side as well, and that's going to make it 22-19. And there's Brooke. And they're going to say down the line serve, but it's going to go out. You just hate to see her streak end that way, make them earn it, but it is what it is. So it's 22-20, and it looks like Adri Dudley is going back to serve, and she serves it over, and the Wildcats are there, and Brooke's going to do a back row attack. Played up by Thurn, popped over, and it's out. And nice job by that attack from the back row by Brooke Silver. So 23-20. And we've got Riley Armstrong going back to serve for the Wildcats. So let's see if what she can do. If get 2 serves here, we need 2 points. So 23-20 Wildcats up on game 2. And there's a little floater. And it's going to be just tipped over, pushed by Bucks. And we're going to go in the middle with Alexia. Nice hit, and they're going to come back. Nice play by Emma Walton. The Wildcats blocked it, and there's Emma again. Let's see here. It's going outside to Avery. Avery Wise, and another hitting error. Another hitting error on Avery. Nice play there by Emma Walton. The Wildcats blocked it, and again, it went over it just went to the middle, and Emma did a great job diving and keeping that alive. But unfortunately, the ball goes back over to East Buck. And let's see here, the Wildcats free ball it over. East Buck's going to come back now, and they tip it. Emma Walton's right there to keep it alive, but it goes straight over. No attack by the Wildcats. Stone with the hit. And Emma Walton's going to try to hit it from the back row and didn't really have her feet set. Should have just probably free-balled it over. So now it's 22-23. Wildcats up by 1. Flexenhauer in the back row, or back in their back row serving. And there's going to be a serving error. Huge play there by the Wildcats, or a misplay by Flexenhauer. So Wildcats will take that, 24-22. We have Alexia serving here for the Wildcats, and she serves it to the middle there, and it's going to be a up, and they're going to go. There's a hitting error deep, and that was Dudley who hits it out. So Wildcats are going to take game 2, 25-22. Nice job by the Wildcats. Wildcats got up there on that one, and then they East Buck got back into it and actually took the lead, but the Wildcats had a good serving rotation with Brooke Silver and was able to get the lead and got a little cushion there and were able to maintain it, and they come away with the win. So after 2 games, we're all squared. Probably wouldn't expect anything less from 2 teams that are young, kind of trying to figure things out. Again, as I mentioned, Wildcats are 0-1 in the conference, and East Bucks 0-3. So both of these teams are looking for their first conference win. So again, the Wildcats I thought were a lot more scrappier that time. Again, at some points they were talking but not listening, so that's something easily correctable. So as I mentioned, they don't switch sides anymore. That used to be kind of a big thing, but they don't switch sides anymore. So we got all right, so Wildcats have the same. We have Brooke Silver out, Riley Armstrong, Savannah Cook, Braylon Abernathy, Avery Wise, Alexia Hornia. And East Buck will be serving now. So far, the way that it's went has been the team serving first has won. And East Buck will be serving this game. So let's see if we can't break that pattern and get a side out right away and get something going. They're going to start with Ava Shannon serving. East Buck is. And the ball's going to go to Alexia. Tight, but Wildcats, nice job. Tight pass, but good job by Riley Armstrong to get that. And a nice quick hit there by Savannah Cook. And there's a kill for Savannah, and Wildcats get the serve, get the point and the serve. And there's Avery Wise, and didn't look like East Buck quite was ready. Stone was moving. I don't think Flexenauer was able to see the pass there or the serve, so Wildcats get another point. Avery's going to come back, and the ball's popped up, and they're going to go with Stone out of the middle, and she just kind of throws it across. Wildcats are just going to have to free ball it back over there, not able to take advantage of anything. And now they're going to go with Stone out of the middle again. There's Riley. Braden's going to go with a back row attack to Alexis, and just wasn't, or I should say Alexia. And Wildcats, Alexia hits that into the net, so there's a hitting error. And so it's 2-1. Wildcats are up, and Avery Wise pops it up to Riley Armstrong, who goes outside to Brooks Silver, and there's a hitting error by Brooke into the net. Brooke's been hitting the ball pretty good tonight, but she just got a little ahead of that, and it hit into the net. So it's 2-2, and Dolan is going to serve for East Buck. And she goes to Wise. Good play by Braylon, and the Wildcats get it over. There's going to be an attack out of the middle by Stone, played up by Alexia. They're going to go to Cook in the middle, and it's blocked, but it's kept alive by Avery Wise. We're going to have an attack by Brooke Silver, played up by the Bucks. And there's a hit. Alexia is there. And, oh, nice rally, but the Wildcats just have a miss hit and aren't able to keep it alive. And the Bucks get the point, and it's 3-2. And it's going to be a hitting error by Avery Weiss from the back row. And Dolan will be serving again for the Bucks. And she goes after Avery. And then there's going to be another error. And it's 5-2 here. And this time they're going to go at Alexia. She's there. And Brooks with the hit. And it hits Flexenauer in the arm. It would have been out. Hits Flexenauer. She kind of stuck her arm out there. And it goes off her arm and out. So that's going to be a kill for Brooke. And it's 3-5. Wildcats still in this. We got Braylon Abernathy serving. And she's going to have a miss hit on that serve. And it's going to go into the net. And it's going to be 3-6 Bucks. We're all tied up here at 1 game apiece. Game 1 went to East Buck, 25-20. Game 2 went to the Wildcats, 25-22. Stone with the serve. There's Brooke Silver with the pass. They're going to try to go with a back row attack with Avery Weiss. And the Bucks are going to come back, and they have a bad pass. And the ball goes in the net, so Wildcats get a point off of that. So that's a kill for Avery. 4-6. And we've got Phoebe Henderson checking in for Savannah Cook. And Phoebe is going to serve. So this is Phoebe's first action tonight. She played in the JV game. And Phoebe has a nice serve, and there's popped it up, and it's going to be free balled over. So let's see if the Wildcats can take advantage. And there's just a nice little tip on that set. And Braylon Abernathy gets that point for the Wildcats, so nice play, and Phoebe's going to get another opportunity to serve. 5-6, Wildcats down by 1. And there's a bad pass, so I'm going to say that's an ace serve for Phoebe, so nice job Phoebe coming in, getting a couple points off the serves. And it's 6-6. Phoebe Henderson serving again. And it's going to go outside to Fleschenhauer, and they're able to get the kill there. Phoebe Henderson is a freshman, so nice job on Phoebe's part. She's going to go out, and Emma Walton's going to come in and play the back row. And looks like Piper Reck's going to be serving for the Bucks. Piper's going to go to Alexia. She gets it up, and they're going to have a kill opportunity. Kind of a bad set there, or miscommunication on what they were trying to do with the set and the hit between Abernathy and Armstrong. So it's going to be a side out, or just a point here for East Buck. Reck serving, and there's kind of a tight pass, and Braylon's not really able to do anything with that. So it's going to be 7-9 here, I believe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's right. 6-9, I guess we'll say. And there's another kind of where our passing isn't where it needs to be right now. We've had about 3 bad passes in a row, and the setters really haven't been able to do anything. And so I think our scorekeeper is not doing his job over there, and I'm pretty sure it's 8. Oh, well, I don't know that that's the right score, but maybe it is. So the score right now is 6-10. And East Buck, that's probably right. East Buck's up 6-10. So I was looking at the scoreboard wrong. So there's a free ball by Avery Weiss, and there's a point for the Wildcats. So I was looking at that wrong. It's 10-7 now. Wildcats have a little work to do, and we have Brooke Silver going back to serve. And this is where there was kind of a turning point in the last game with Brooke came up. We were down. And so let's see if Brooke can't do something. There's a good serve, and it's going to go into the net. And so there's a bad set. So there's 1 point for Brooke. Makes it 8-10. And there's another serve for Brooke. And this one's going to be hit over. And they're going to say in. Just couldn't get any blocking over there. It's pretty tight. We almost hit the antenna. We just didn't get a blocker over there. So unfortunately, that's going to be a side out. Makes it 11-8. And I believe this is Adri Dudley going back and serving for the Bucks. And she passes it to Brooke Silver. It's popped up and hit over and comes right back to the Wildcats, but they're not able to do anything with it. And then Brooke Silver has a bad hit in the back row. Our transition there isn't very good, and the ball came right back. If we would have had that middle hitter right at the net, we would have been able to put it down, but there wasn't anybody there. So we'll have to see. And then we're going to get the ball there. Dudley hits it into the net, so the Wildcats catch a break. So we've got Riley Armstrong going back. Riley's done a pretty good job of serving tonight. So it's 9-12. We'll see if Riley can get something going here for the Wildcats. Riley with a little floater and popped up, and it's going to be a hit out of the middle. Wildcats are there, but they hit it right back to the East Buck. East Buck's going to come back with another attack out of the middle, and Wildcats just aren't able to stop that attack. They had, Alexia was there and got a hand on it, but just too powerful of a hit, and Wildcats aren't able to make a play on it. So Wildcats are going here now down 9-13. So let's see if we can do something to get this ball back. And there's a big serve by Flexenauer. Brooke Silver popped it up. It did go right back over to the Bucks, and they just didn't know if they should kill it or set it, and it just had a miss hit. So we'll take it. And Savannah Cook comes in, and Alexia goes back and serves, and it's going to be hit out of the middle, and there's Riley, and we're going to have Brooke out of the middle, or out of the back row, and she hit it into the net, so there's a hitting error. Our back row's attack's been a little inconsistent. We've had a couple big hits out of the back row, but then we've had a couple miss hits. So point East Buck, 14-10. We're in game 3. Wildcats down 14-10. We're all tied up with games, 1 apiece. And there's a serve. Armstrong's going to set it to Braylon. Braylon gets it over, played up by the Bucks. They're going to have a hit. And there's Brooke right there to play it up. And then we're going to come back with another hitting error in the middle out of Savannah Cook. Hit it right into the net. So again, maybe some missed timing on the hit and the set there. So 15-10. And there's going to be a serving error by Ava Shannon. And so Wildcats are going to get a point. And Avery Wise is going to go back and will be serving for the Wildcats. She's going to go at it. And there's going to be an ace. She went right at Ava Shannon, and Ava wasn't able to play that ball up. And there's a point Wildcats. So 12-15 here. And then a hitting error. So side out, and Kate Dolan is going to serve, and she has a hitting error or serving error. It goes into the net, so it's going to go right back to the Wildcats. So let's see if Braylon Abernathy can get something going here for the Wildcats. We're down 13-16, so we're right there. We just need to close this gap a little bit, and Braylon's going to have a nice serve, and they're going to free ball that over. And Avery's there, and then they're going to go outside to Brooke Silver, and Brooke's going to hit it, a little miss hit, and she called it in. It did look out, but the one thing, and I know they tell the line judge people, you have to be right on the line, and she was off the line a little bit, and that's probably why Wood caught a break, but hey, we'll take it. So and then it didn't matter, I guess, what they say. Ball don't lie, so they get it back on a serving error. And then there's a hitting error on the Wildcats, I think Savannah Cook. So we've got 14-18. Cameron Stone serving. And we're going to go outside to Riley Armstrong. She hits it over. It's going to be played up. And there's a hit by Rec. Alexia's there. We're going to go outside, and then just going to be a push. And again, miscommunication, nobody talking on the Wildcats. They had 3 people standing there in the middle, and then Savannah tipped it but got pushed in the back by one of her own teammates. So we're going to keep playing here, 19-14. And again, nobody really talking. Alexia does bump it over. And there comes the ball back from the Bucks. And it's just going to be a free ball over by Brooke Silver, and it's actually going to be a point. So the Bucks kind of got sucked in, and Brooke was able to kind of find an empty spot down that back corner, and that's going to be a point for the Wildcats. And it's going to be 15-19. Wildcats down. Phoebe Henderson's coming in to serve again for the Wildcats, taking Savannah Cook's spot. There's a nice serve by Phoebe. And we're going to go outside to Flexenhauer, their big hitter, and played up by Avery Wise. And we're going to come back with Brooke. And that's kept alive, and they're going to come out of the middle. And we just don't have the manpower in the middle there. Brooke and Riley Armstrong, Brooke Silver were there. But just not the manpower to stop that hit from Flexenhauer. And so that's going to be a point. And it's 20-15. East Buck has the lead, and Piper Reck is serving. And there's Alexia. She gets it up to Braylon, and they're going to go back to Brooke. And then just tipped over by the Bucks. And then tipped back over and free-balled by Brooke. But she just, I think one rule in volleyball is you should never have your back to the net if you hit the ball, and Brooke had her back to the net, and she hit the ball, and it just went over her head and out. She hit it too hard. So freshmen will learn that. 15-21, Rex continues to serve here for the Bucks. Brooke passes it up to Braylon. They're going to go back to Brooke, and then Brooke's got a hitting error. And then she just got behind the ball a little bit. Looks like coach is talking to her about her approach. And there's another serve, and they're going to have Riley Armstrong with the hit out of the middle. Bucks are going to play it up. They're going to come back with a hit. And again, our blockers are there, but we just don't have the height to get our hands on, meet the ball when it's being hit by the hitter, and it's just dropping down on our side. So 23-15 here. Piper Reck is continuing to Piper Reck with the serve, played up by Brooke, and it's going to, Avery. Brooke down balls it, and then it's coming back, and it's a hitting error by, not sure what number that is. A.J. Jones with the hitting error. And so Wildcats have a little bit of life here, 16-23. Brooke gets it, and they're going to tip it, and the Wildcats are there. And free-balled over by the Wildcats. And there's a block by Riley Armstrong right there. So there's a point, 17-23. Brooke Silver with the serving error into the net. So it's 17-24, so we're at game point. And looks like Dudley is serving, Adri Dudley for the, There's gonna replay this. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like somebody's shoes were untied or something, and she was going to tie it, and then they started serving. So Braylon's So Dudley with another serve, and Avery keeps it alive. Alexia down balls it from the back row, and it's good. So Wildcats live for another point here. 18 to 24. And we've got Riley Armstrong serving for the Wildcats. And there's a serve. And they're going to have a back set to Flexenauer. Wildcats are there. And there's another attack, and they're going to say somebody was in the net. They're going to say one of the Wildcats, might have been Avery Wise, was in the net. So that's going to be game. So East Buck's going to take game 3, 25 to 18. Wildcats came out and looked okay game 1. Game 2 really good. Game 3 didn't look quite as on top of their game as they needed to be, and they go down 18 to 25. All right, so Wildcats have their work cut out for them here. Heartland Bank and Trust, located on North 4th Street in Central City. Whether you're a student who's new to finance or a business owner looking to expand, count on Heartland Bank for local decisions and fast, efficient service. Visit us today at hbtbank.com, member FDIC. All right, so Wildcats, like I mentioned, had a decent first game. Really picked it up the second game, and this last game just weren't at the top of their game in some situations. So we'll see how they bounce back. And see what they can do here. Again, Wildcats are down 2-1. In varsity, you played at 25. And you have to win. It's the best 3 out of 5. So I mentioned this started last game, and now let's hope that the same thing happens. Is the team who has served first? The team who has served first has won the game. So East Buck started game 1 with the serve, they won. Wildcats started game 2 with the serve, they won. Now East Buck had the serve for game 3, they won. So let's see if Wildcats can't keep that going. And win game 4. All right, so we'll see who's going to be. It looks like the same starters that have been starting each game. It looks like it's going to be Brooke Silver, Savannah Cook, Braylon Abernathy, Avery Wise, Riley Armstrong, and Alexia Horina. And East Bucks got Rec, Stone, Flexenauer, Shannon, Thurns out there, or I'm sorry, Dudley's out there. And I think Dolan is the setter. So who we got? Looks like Avery's going to be serving. And a good serve by Avery, and it's just going to be Stone tipping the ball over. Goes to Riley. They're going to go outside to Brooke, and Brooke's going to have a hitting error. Wildcats need to get their hitting attack going here a little bit. Brooke had some good hits in the first and second game, and now a lot of our attacks, we've been having a lot of hitting errors. So let's see if they can't get that going in the right direction. So there's going to be a serve, and Armstrong is going to go outside to Brooke. This time takes a little bit off of it, stays in now. Rec with the hit. Alexia is going to have a back row attack. Nice hit. Nice play by East Buck to keep it in play, and there's going to be a point. Nice job. Savannah's there to block the tip over, and Wildcats are going to get the point. So it's 1-1. 1-1, and Braylon is going to go back and serve for the Wildcats. And there's a nice little floater, and it's going to be Wildcats ball. All right, bad pass, and they aren't able to do anything on that second hit, so Wildcats get the point. And Braylon with the serve. Wildcats are play it over there. Avery Wise free balls it. And it's going to be quick out of the middle. And good hustle by Braylon, and Avery Wise free balls it into the net. Good hustle by the Wildcats there on a pretty good play by Braylon, and then just a free ball into the net. So it's going to be 2-2. The ball goes over to East Buck, and it's going to be Stone with the serve. And they're going to go with Brooke. And they tried a little bit of a middle Brooke combination, and Braylon, I just don't think got the setup quite high enough for Brooke. And Brooke kind of swung around a little too far. So Stone with the serve, and it's going to go out. So Wildcats, let's see if Wildcats can't do it. It's 3-3 here. Three to three, and so Phoebe Henderson's going to sub in for Savannah, and Phoebe's going to do some serving. She came in and served in game 2 and did a pretty good job, and there's another good serve. And they're going to come to Fleshman over here, and nice hit by Fleshman. She is their leader in kills, and she hit it down the line there, or across court, and Phoebe just wasn't able to do anything with it. So there's going to be a serve for East Buck. And there's a big hit out of the middle, kept alive by Braylon. And the Wildcats just aren't able to do anything on that second hit. But good job by Braylon. So it's 5-3. East Buck's up. And Rec with the serve. Avery Wise plays it up. They're going to go outside to Alexia. It's a block. And tipped and then blocked by O'Reilly. And there's a hit by Jones, and just goes over the top of the blockers and falls in front of the other Wildcats. So nice play. Nice hustle by the Wildcats. Rec with the serve. And tipped by the Wildcats, hit right back at him. There's a block. And we're going to go with a back set over the net. And there's a hit. And just, we have a pretty big hole right there in the middle. And just the Wildcats weren't able to cover that. And East Buck found that hole. And so it's 7-3. East Buck's up. And we've got Piper Rex serving for the Bucks. There's a nice serve, played up by Avery. And there's Riley Armstrong with the hit. And kept alive by the Bucks. Free ball over. Let's see if the Wildcats can't use it. Emma Watson, they're going to go outside to Alexia. And there's going to be a kill. Nice job, Alexia, with that hit on that outside. So Wildcats are going to get the ball on that side out. 4-7, and Brooke Silver is going to be serving. And again, in game 2, the one that the Wildcats won, Brooke was able to get some momentum there for the Wildcats and get us the lead. So let's see what happens. And I don't know what they just called, but now they're saying, I don't understand that. It must have been behind the antenna, so we had that call on us too. I couldn't see it over there. They kept saying out, and the East Buck girl hit it, but I guess I didn't realize it went behind the antenna. So they say point East Buck. So it's 4-8, and Brooke hits it up, and there's a hit attempt by Avery Wise, played back over by the Bucks, and there's a play at the net, and Bucks come away with it. So it's 9-4. Dudley serving here for East Buck. One thing I will say is it seems like East Buck's serving a little better, and Wildcats have to work on all their points. And so we've just got to get our passing down here a little better. And there's another serve. That one's short. They're kind of picking on Emma Watson over there. And the ball drops in front of her. So they need to, Coach Lau's trying to make a little bit of an adjustment. 11-4 here. We're just kind of in a bad rotation. And there's going to be a bad serve by Dudley, and so the Wildcats are going to get a side out. So 5-11. Riley Armstrong's going to go back to serve. Wildcats are down. And Riley has a bad serve. And it goes out. Not what you need when you're down. You need to get that serve in. You need to get some points, but Wildcats will have to come back. It's 12-5. And Fleschenhauer, nice try by Emma Watson. And it's just not going to happen. Wildcats are just swinging at the ball. So we're 13-5. And there's a bad serve. It goes deep. That was Elsie Flexenauer. So Wildcats get the ball back. And Alexia is going to go back and serve 6-13. And there's the ball played off of Alexia's arms on a weak hit by the Bucks, and it's going to be a point. So it's 14-6. And there's a serve, and it's going to be hit over by Savannah. Bucks are going to come out of the middle with Stone. Alexia is there to pass it up, and then it's going to be a hit by Braylon, and they're going to say that it was touched, and she is, so that's a kill for Braylon, and the Wildcats will get the ball. So Avery Wise is going to step back to serve, 7-14. Wildcats need to put something together here, and there's going to be a point for the Wildcats. I don't know if that's considered an ace. The girl hit it and it fell, so I'm pretty sure that's an ace for Avery. Avery needed that. 8-14. Be nice if Avery could put something together, but she hits it into the net. And the East Buck guys were screaming when Avery served it, and Coach Lau is going to talk to the officials. I don't know that there's anything that they can do about that. It's a warning. I don't know really what they can do. They just can't do it anymore. I suppose now that there is a warning, they could potentially take a point away from East Buck, or maybe give Wildcats a point. So it looks like Jones is checking in, A.J. Jones checking in, and Dudley's going out. They just did it. And there's going to be a hit attempt by Brooke Silver, but it's going to go out, trying to hit it over the blockers, and it goes out. And there's 8-16. There's the serve, goes to Braylon Armstrong. They're going to go out of the middle with Savannah. She hits it over, kept alive. It's free ball over by the Bucks. There's Avery, and they're going to go something quick in the middle to Savannah Cook, and she hits it into the net. So another hitting error. 17-8, and Dolan is going to go back and serve for the Bucks. Dolan gets it up to Avery, who passes it over to the other side. And then there's a bad pass by the Bucks, and it goes out of bounds. Wildcats get the point and the serve here, 9-17. Braylon, there's going to be a hit with Rec. Braylon's going to set it. They're going to go to Riley Armstrong, and there's going to be a point. That's 4 hits. That's going to be a point for the Wildcats. So let's see if the Wildcats can't dig in here and get back in this game. It's 10-17. Braylon Abernathy. There's a nice serve. And Wildcats, that's too many hits. So there's another point for the Wildcats. And maybe we got a little life here going. So we've got 17-11. Braylon with the serve. And that's it. Oof. I thought that looked in, but they said it was out. So that was close. So 11-18. Wildcats are down here. 2-1. East Buck took game 1, 25-20. Wildcats took game 2, 25-22. And East Buck took game 3. And Wildcats here are battling for their lives in game 4. 18-12. And they just got that point, I believe. Yep, just got the point. So Phoebe Henderson's checking in to serve. 18-12 Wildcats. They're still in this game. If we can put together something here. It's going to be a free ball. Let's see if we can't take advantage of that. And we're going to go outside to Alexia, and she's going to hit it out. So there's a hitting error. And that's going to put the ball back over on the Bucks side. Piper Reck's going to serve. It's 19-12. And there's going to go to Emma Watson, and she gets it up there to Abernathy. Brooke Silver tips it over, and Stone comes back with a hit from the Bucks, and then Abernathy just tips it over deep. Took advantage of the East Buck players all sucking in, so there's going to be a point Wildcats. 13-19 is the score. And there's a serve by Brooke Silver, and it's going to be a point Wildcats. So Brooke was kind of the spark, has had the best streak of serving, I guess, tonight, has put along together. And so it's 14-19 here. And Brooke does a little floater. Third passes it right over to the Wildcats, but it's kept alive. The Wildcats have it back. They're going to go outside to Avery, and Avery's going to get a kill. That's a way to step up in a big time here. 15-19. Game 3. Wildcats need this, or we're done. So again, 2-1 right now with East Buck, and East Buck's up in game 3, 19-15. So we'll see if the Wildcats can keep it up. East Buck calling their first time out. We'll give a shout out At Heartland Bank, the strength of our bank lies in the relationships that give meaning to our work at all times. We remain focused on what we do best, operating as a dependable community bank and delivering on our personal service commitment. Go Central City Wildcats. All right, coming out of that timeout that East Buck called, we've got Brooke Silverback serving. Wildcats are down 19-15. And that's going to be a free ball over, and it's hit out. That was Evelyn Thurn. Kind of tried to down ball it, and it went deep. And Brooke's going to have a serving error. 16-19. So Brooke got some momentum going for us here. Now it's 16-20, I guess, now. And we've got Dudley coming in to serve, and that's going to go to Alexia. And then Brooks with the hit, but we've got Flexenauer right there with the block, and a point there for East Buck. So it's going to be 21-16. And Dudley was with the serve. They're going to go at Emma. And Braylon tips it over, and it's going to be downballed by Dolan. Wildcats are going to have Riley Armstrong with the down ball. Bucks are going to come back with an attack from Stone. Emma Watson's there. They're going to go outside to Avery Weiss. Avery gets it across. Nice play by Thurn. Watson gets it up. Oh, and just everybody standing. That second hit is always the setter's hit. And at some point, they have to decide if they can get to it or not, and they have to let people know ahead of time. There's just been a little indecision there sometimes on those second hits. So Wildcats down 22-16 here. Stone with the hit, kept alive by Abernathy, and Watson free balls it over. Walton, I've been saying Watson, it's Walton, my bad, Emma Walton. And anyway, we got a little rally going on here. Dudley, again, has her back to the net and tries to hit it with her back to the net, and it goes in the net. So again, rule, never have your back to the net when you're going to hit it. And Wildcats will take that every time. So now it's 17-22. Riley Armstrong going to be serving for the Wildcats. And Riley gets it over. Wreck, and they get it to, and it's out. Nice. Flexenauer comes up with the big hit, but it goes deep. And that makes it 18-22. Wildcats have a little bit of life here. Let's see if Riley can keep some serves in. And there's a nice serve to Thurn. And they're going to go in the middle to Stone, and that's going to go out. So now we're at 19-22. Wildcats coming back with something here. Actually, that was Sammy Isham who had that hitting error, not Stone. My bad. Don't want to. And Riley Armstrong, she's going to go deep, and they're going to come outside here to Dolan, and she does a good job of finding a hole, and Emma Walton isn't able to get it back over, so that's going to be a side out, 23-19. This is game 4. East Buck leads 2-1, and there's a big serve by Elsie Flexenauer, and that's going to be an ace. Wildcats couldn't handle that. Makes it 24-19, so we're at game point right here. And they got Emma Walton with it up there, and we're going to go outside to Braylon. She's going to tip it, and Wildcats are still in business. Dudley, I think, hit off of her arm and went out of bounds, so 20-24. And Alexia is going to serve here. So let's see if Alexia can't. do something here. There's a play up, and they're going to go to Isham, and she tips it. Braylon's there. They're going to go quick with Cook, and he set a touch. And there's a little controversy. They're going to give the point to the Wildcats. So the line judge, I think there was a touch, and the officials can't call it. It has to be called by the line judges, and the line judge called a touch. And they're going to go with it. Again, as I said, the actual officials. Yeah, so Wildcats catch a break there, 21-24, and they're good. They just missed. These officials the East Buck girl fell into the net that time, and they didn't call it, but luckily they hit it out. So now it's 24-22. Alexia's serving. And they're going to go ahead, and they're going to go outside to Stone, and there's a block, and this time we have Savannah Cook and Braylon there, and the ball goes out. They just couldn't get that block, and so Wildcats end up coming back but falling just a little short in game 4, 22-25. All right, so Wildcats just come up short, 3-1 there. So East Buck wins their first conference game. Wildcats still looking for that first conference win. They'll keep working to get better. They're pretty young and inexperienced. So game 1 went to East Buck 25-20. Game 2 went to the Wildcats 25-22. Game 3 went to East Buck 25-18, and then a battle there in Game 4, and East Buck comes out on top 25-22. So next broadcast will be this Friday night. We'll be in Edco for the football game, and then the next volleyball game is going to be next Tuesday. The Wildcats will be back home here in Central City. So I'm Cindy McCarthy, and thanks for joining me tonight. Wildcats go down 3-1, and I appreciate everybody listening. Go Cats.